Hi everyone, good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening. I'm thank you for tuning in to my first series of stay-at-home mom versus working mom. I'm Delphine here. I'm a working mom of three lovely children. So in this series, I have the honor to actually invite two stay-at-home mom as well as two working mom to share with us, their struggle in their own roles in life. So, okay, let's talk about stay-at-home mom. For a
Mm,
stay-at-home mom, I've been a stay-at-home mom for a period of time, just a few months lah. So I can actually feel it. So being a stay-at-home mom is, really all mom's dream. It's also my dream. I think it's also our guest, specially invited guest dream, that we get to actually, be with our children, to guide them, then watching them achieve all their milestones, creating beautiful memories with them. But what about,
mm,
creating all these, beautiful memories, but we still have to be practical. So what about bringing meals to the table? I think that is always at the back of a stay-at-home mom because they don't have any income. So how does a stay-at-home mom manage their household expenses? Then for a working mom, we always dread, I'm a working mom right now. For a working mom, I always dread waking up to alarm clock. I really hate to wake up to alarm clock. Then I really dread unable to attend to my children's celebrations or any activities that parents present is actually open up to. Then not able to watch my kids growing milestone as well because time is always lacking on our end. To spend with more time with our children and family. Then if we are to trade off precious time with our children with an income, I don't think that is definitely a desired lifestyle that I want or any of the moms want. So what are these working moms then? What do they do to look for their desired lifestyle before they even regret even more? So today I have invited a special guest, Soki. Soki is a working mom as well. So maybe let me invite her to share and do a brief introduction of her. Hi, Sogi.
Okay, I'm Shokgi, also a mommy of three lovely children. I started this ski community, and yeah, my children are actually a pair of twins and also a teenage girl. Yeah, so that's a short
Sogi, in
introduction about
which
myself.
industry are you working as?
Mm, I actually in education industry now.
Oh,
Yeah, but previously
educational.
I'm from engineering.
Okay, okay. Do you okay? When we talk about working mom, I'm also a working mom right now, so I can actually understand. From a stay-at-home mom and a work to a working mom, actually the struggles are very different, just like what I mentioned before. So, what about you? What is your struggle? As a working mom, and when you having this struggle, what triggers you to actually look for an alternative plan?
Okay. Frankly, it's not easy. Yeah, as a working mom, I
Yes.
think work itself is already quite taxing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let alone you have three children at home. So usually I will joke also that I'm running a childcare after working in the office.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So mainly for working mom, I think the challenge is to be present for your children whenever they need you, and also to spend quality time with them, because sometimes really after a day of hard work, um, you don't have the mood and you don't have the
Yeah.
patience
Because we already drained
to,
off, right? Yeah.
yeah, to really listen to them or do common things with them. And usually because we are working, sometimes we tend to rush them quite a bit. Yeah, always tell them to be faster, tell them to yeah, get to bed on time so that we have our a bit of our me time before before we go to bed and then start another due days again. So that is mainly my challenge of a working mom. And what triggers me to look for alternative, frankly, previously I was in my old industry for 20 years. So yeah, with the busy work, I find that there's no solution out, because it will continue to be busy.
Yeah, it's a
And
cycle actually.
yes, it's a cycle. After 20 years, you can see the cycle quite easily, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a cycle. If you, no matter how hardworking you are, no matter what you do, the cycle will still goes on. No doubt it brings bread and butter to on the table. Um, my question to myself is, am I going to continue with this? Yeah. And that is also why I started to look for alternative plan to actually find a solution for myself. Uh, and I believe that when I look hard enough, I will be able to find it. Mm.
Yeah, true. And you found it actually.
Yes.
Okay, so as a working mom, we want. I know that you also a digital mompreneur. So do
Mm,
you need to, as you say, you're really very busy doing work and things like that.
mm,
But do you need to actually spend a lot of time, on this digital business? Because I think a lot of our concern as a working mom is we are really working, day to night. Like eight to for me, my working hours are also pretty long. It's like eight
mm.
to eight or 8 to 6. Then after that, do I still have the time to actually run this business as a working mom? And then
Mm.
as a working mom for you, how do you actually run this business? Or you're
Okay.
still working? Yeah. Mm,
Yeah, I guess frankly, I really appreciate this part of the nature of the beast because I think online a lot of people are direct and not so directly connected in a way because we can choose the time we respond to questions. We can also choose who you want to interact with. Yeah. And also, I guess maybe I start off with the beginning, okay, when I first
yeah.
started the business.
Mm, mm,
Like
mm,
any other business, I think we have to invest certain time. So honestly, for the first month, for the business when I started, I spent about maybe 2 3 hours after I settled my staff to really learn on the training that is available online. So I learned the trick. I learned the rationale. I learned the logic behind. And then after that, I start to run my own advertisement, run the marketing portion of it, and that is the part where yeah, things are really easier because in fact I think I spent about around 1 to 2 hours, uh, yeah,
Do you
just
have to set up all this, advertising things yourself,
mm.
or is actually, provided there, or
Oh, okay. Before that, frankly, I'm just a Facebook user. I don't do any stuff on this.
other social
So
media lah.
yeah, on social media. So I just mainly read and what is on the line and things like that. So the setting up portion, frankly, is very easy. It's too easy to believe in a way because it's actually very detailed in our training. So I just
So
have to
don't have to be
follow.
tech savvy lah.
Yeah,
Any
definitely not. Yeah.
normal, ordinary mom can actually do it, is it?
Yes, yes. I guess there are people who ask me this. So a guideline which I always share with them is if you know how to use Facebook, you know how to use Instagram, then I guess you know how to do this. Yeah, because mainly you just watch a video, you follow the step, you do not understand, you just rewind back and you watch it again. And every step is being shown to you very clearly. So it doesn't need really uh, that so much technical knowledge on this. And besides that, I guess once your ad is start running, yeah, you really have a 24/7 shop open. When
Huh?
you're sleeping, yeah, there are
You need
people
to officially go and
inquiry.
open shop, right? Like
Yes,
traditional business, yeah.
yes. And that give me a very good flexibility over my time. Honestly, if this business is very taxing with my new job, I will not be able to manage. But now with this business, I can space out my time after work in the pocket of time during lunch. I can attend to the business needs and then go back to my work. Yeah, I guess this is something yeah, I find is really valuable. And for people who are thinking to start a side hustle and working full time, seriously, I urge everybody to really consider the amount of effort and time you are able to put in, because many things may seem ideal. When I want to start this, I can do this, do that, and whatever. But when it comes to physically running the business, I can tell you many of the things which seems very attractive may not be possible. Maybe one thing I share,
Yeah.
I think got one time a lot of people want to run the what laundromat 24/7. Sounds very attractive, right? You just put the thing there, pay a huge sum of money. Then things just run. Then you go and collect money, put in the bank. Then okay, maybe a little bit longer time to break even. Then after that, all this money is yours. But it's not really that rosy. I tried that, yeah,
Ah,
and And you can you imagine at the night time people just call you and tell you, hey, today your softener smell different. Why
Oh.
or or people
Mm,
have a token,
mm,
somehow they stuck it there and they tell you, hey,
mm,
at night come and fetch it, or in your bed, in your office hour they call
mm,
for such
mm.
attention. It's not really that
Ah,
easy. Yeah,
mm,
it's not
mm, mm,
really like what people think that it's a self-automated system. That's why
mm.
I mean, sharing of my experience, I tell people, think about the investment you're going to put in.
Yep.
Yeah, is it very big? For my case of laundromat, it's very big. And think about the effort and time you are able to afford if you want to choose a side hustle. Uh,
Mm,
if you can't see yourself sustain through this period and get the successful piece, I guess yeah, you better think twice. And
yeah.
I think for the internet business, the digital business that we are running now, I would say it's really flexible. And I think the part which also attracts me a lot is I see myself grow. Mm. And I like to pace myself in terms of my own development. Yeah.
Mm,
So I see that also. And also one thing really great about the biz is I would say it's sustainable. COVID made us realize also that a lot of things it may be very good at normal times, but can it sustain through pandemic? And I
mm,
guess pandemic is going to stay, not
yeah.
COVID, but maybe other names. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at that
Mm,
time, then you start something, or then you think of other stuff, and is it really that sustainable? This piece, let me see the sustainability of it. Yeah, we can just stay at home with a notebook, with a handphone, we can do our piece. Hmm.
as long as there's a Wi-Fi actually available, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
this business,
And
yeah.
the market is really big.
Yes, yes. And
Hmm.
this because this is a global market, global digital business. So we can actually reach out to any people globally that who actually
Hmm.
are interested, to start and run the business, do it as a side hustle or as a main, as a main income for themselves. Yeah. So
Hmm.
based on what you share, actually, I pretty appreciate what you have shared. It actually summarize what the business actually can provide to us. The flexibility, the time flexibility. We actually, as you mentioned, you can do it anytime, anywhere you want at your own
Hmm.
time. So we call for our own. We work at our own preferred timing rather than being an employee of someone and we are tasked to do certain thing within that certain time or things like that. So the
Hmm.
flexibility fall back to us ourselves. Yeah, that's
Yes.
how you actually also manage as a working mom to have more time with your children. So even though you're running as a side hustle, it doesn't really take much of your time. Correct.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks,
Hmm.
Sogi, for sharing today. I think it was really a great sharing. You have actually bring up what actually attracts you in this business as a working mom.
Hmm.
Not taking away your time. As a working mom as well, because already a lot of time have already been spent in work. But
Hmm.
what makes you actually I have a question actually. What
Hmm.
actually get you embarked to this, and when you mention it's sustainable, is there any other feature any other things in this business or feature that actually attracts you the most? Because you have three children,
Hmm.
so a traditional business for me is I there's something that in the business that attracts me, because traditional business, frankly speaking, as you mentioned, you need like your laundromat, is it? You need a
Hmm.
huge capital, yeah. So for this digital business is a flexible startup
Hmm.
cost, but what
Yes.
other features that actually attracts you, that makes you want to start on this business?
Mm. I think one thing I really appreciate, okay, maybe two things. One thing is I find this business really is very much within control. Why I say that
Mm,
within control? How you want to start up, like what I mentioned, is we decide.
this flex.
How much money we want to use as an operation cost in terms of running your business, your ad and all this, you decide. So that is to me, money is all being very securely planned by ourselves. We are in control. I guess this is something I really appreciate, because for me, I don't want to get into a business with high risk, because I have my commitment also. So I
Yeah.
guess, and yeah, that's the one key portion. Another portion which is very amazing is this business, the effort is cumulative. Yeah. Whenever you have progress, whenever you have achieved, it's actually cumulative and step by step, you are able to reach the goal you want. This is something which many business cannot afford. It's just like if you sell something to somebody, at the end of the day, that's it, the deal closed, you got your money, and
Yeah.
it's not cumulative.
Ups and
But for
downs
this,
lah in
yeah,
other
but for this, it
businesses.
is.
Yeah.
And the last one, I really see a value is to pass it on to my children. Yeah,
Ah,
because
as a
yeah,
legacy.
because sorry.
As a legacy.
Yes.
Mm.
Frankly, I don't see myself able to leave too much things for them. I always tell them
Same
the
here.
best
Yeah, they're
because
just
I
too
think
much
Singapore is pretty
expenses.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm.
the best thing I always tell them I can give them is education. Yeah,
Mm.
they can study how much they study and are going to pay full on this.
Mm.
But besides that, this business give me a hope also, a chance to give them more, because
Mm.
this business is actually transferable. Yeah, no matter
Mm.
what I build, my accumulated effort will be able to pass on. And I guess this is this unique feature of this business made me very motivated. Yeah,
Because you
to
get actually you already plan ahead, ahead of
yes,
a lot of actually working mom that you have something
yes,
actually, passed down to your children. That's very good.
yes. And I think in today's world, this
Mm.
is something if we can as parents, we should really strive for it, because we
Yes.
don't know what the future will be like for them.
Yeah.
And one thing
Mm.
I think is for sure is it's going to be quite competitive.
Yeah.
And if we can support them a bit, I guess
Mm.
this will make me very happy and yeah, fulfilling. Mm.
Thank you. Thanks, Soggy, for the great sharing really for today. Okay.
Okay, welcome.
If you're interested to know how, what is it about for this digital business, you can actually register
Mm,
for a complimentary workshop to know more about this digital business that Soki is running as well as I'm running on this. Our website is actually scrolling below here.
mm,
So do register for a complimentary workshop, and you can connect with us, either of us via Facebook. Okay, thanks, Soki, for this evening
mm.
of sharing. Next week,
Thank
I
you.
have another stay-at-home mom to share about her struggle as a stay-at-home mom and a sole breadwinner.
Mm,
So do stay tuned for next Friday. It will be at around 6 p.m. I will post up the details sooner when it's closer to date. Okay. Have a
mm.
good evening, everybody. Thanks, Augie. Have
Yeah.
a good evening
Thank
too.
you.
Bye.
Bye.